Hello and welcome to the big special Sprues and Brews Christmas special 2023. It's a bit of a Christmas tradition. I mean, we've done it once, but it's
I like it like once and it's Sunday Christmas tradition.
All traditions have to start with at least one.
Exactly,
They do.
So this is a bit of a visual feed of the podcast. I think you're going to put it out as a podcast as well, aren't we?
Yeah, you'll be able to listen to the audio of this, but if you're watching this over on YouTube, I think you're in the best place.
Yeah, there might be some elements that are lost a little bit in an audio format, but whatever. So yeah, we're just going to be chatting about hobby goodness that we've been up to, and then later on we're going to have the ever popular Sprues and Brews quiz. Now I think, I forgot to look up the stats, but I think Andy's won every one so far pretty much.
Yeah, I think he
I
has.
think I won the first one, and that's the only one I've
And
won.
that's only because it's just you two.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't count, it still counts,
It still counts.
What Matt's trying to say is I'm the only one that's lost every single year.
Well, so you might be able to redeem yourself this year, Dave.
Yeah, okay.
So first of all, as is tradition, let's talk about what we've been doing in the last couple of weeks of hobby. So it is Christmas Eve today, gents. And I think we've all been...
I've got to go, I'm afraid.
painting stuff.
I didn't realise it was Christmas Eve.
I've been painting all sorts of flashy courts. They've been really exciting. The new Dragguts lads, I think they're called. The new Underworlds gang.
The Cruel Boys.
Yeah,
they're pretty cool.
and I also may have been rebasing some models ready for the old world too. Hashtag spoilers.
What's that? I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
It's all you guys have been talking about.
Now you've been really excited about what you've been painting. On the last podcast, you were super excited to talk about it.
Yeah, well, I've been painting some more Raven Guard.
Ooh.
I've been really enjoying painting Raven Guard. I can't wait till the new year and I can really get stuck into them. But I've had the Kill Team Salvation box, which has been long awaited. I know quite a few people have been waiting a while for this. I don't know. It got stuck in the warp like Imperialis, I think.
Did we see it at the last preview show?
Yeah.
We had it when the Cities of Sigmar box came out, I think.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
So it's a great box. I've been doing the Scouts. Jay, you have the
The Aspect Warriors and Scorpions, yeah, awesome models. I love the Striking Scorpions, and then they go really well in there. Like you've got the Raven Guard, quite a stealthy Space Marine chapter, and I've got the Elatok Eldar, which are the sort of stealthy Eldar craft world as well.
It's got a great campaign book in there. Yeah. If I had to grumble, the little scatter scenery are cool, but the book relies on you really having that the big kill zone box. And if you don't have it, you could probably make use of your own kind of board and sector mechanica scenery, but you really need that box. So I get why they release them separately, but it's a bit annoying.
Have you enjoyed painting the models though?
Oh yeah, the models have been great. They're really good. There's quite a few options on the Scouts. I don't know if there's much in the way of customization on the Striking
No,
Scorpions.
you get the standard Aspect Warrior gear. So the Exarch has got some weapon options, but your general Striking Scorpion is just your chain sword and shuriken pistol with the Mandy blasters.
I guess the difference with the Eldar is that the kill team is actually a bit more clever, where you can take different aspects as part of your kill team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're a bit different. So you don't have like trackers or snipers. You just pick and choose from your aspects. Yeah, not all aspects, bearing in mind. You can't take like Howling Banshees. We can take Dire
all
Avengers.
the current plastic aspects.
All the current plastic
the
aspects.
the Banshees are plastic.
I didn't mean Howling Banshees. I meant the Swooping Hawks. You can't take them, and you can't take Warp Spiders. But you can take Dire Avengers. You can take like you said, the plastic ones. Howling Banshees and you Striking Scorpions. You just have one Exarch that you choose from one of those, and then you mix and match your rest. And then as you put those different aspects in, you unlock a full page worth of sort of techniques and.
That's what I was worried about. Because what I like about the custom kill teams is that you get like the specialists and extra war gear and things like that. They're quite varied. Each member of the kill team can be configured in a completely different way. I've used the Chaos Legionnaires one, which is really cool. So it's good that you get that mix and match, and that's how you unlock that sort of.
You know what? That's maybe better than having 10 new flavours of Striking Scorpion that we've never heard about.
Yeah, and I guess that's like the Leagues of Otan one is similar, isn't it? It's just a Hearthkin squad, but they've got like one's got knuckle dusters, one's got a jump pack, which is like a bit odd. Yeah.
I think it works for Scouts though, having the different equipment.
Because they're forward operatives, aren't they? They want need to be like not self-contained, but whatever the word is that you know what I'm doing.
I like the fact that they're all really stealthy, apart from the one guy who's got a missile launcher.
Yeah, it was stealthy.
He's just throwing stealth to the wind. I suppose.
Is it a silenced missile launcher?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be, hasn't it?
So we also had some games of Warhammer the other week as well, didn't we? Up at Warhammer World.
We did, yeah. I took along. It was quite fun because we took along some Age of Sigmar and 40k, didn't we?
Yeah.
I took along the Skaven, led by my murderous Vermin Lord, who absolutely did the business.
I heard it was pretty much a Vermin Lord and then some Skaven.
Yeah, the rest of my rats just sat in my deployment zone. My Vermin Lord just went, dreaded Skelly, down, charge, kill, repeat. But that was great, and I also took along my guard as well, because I love my old tank company. What did you bring along?
Awesome. Well, I brought some Fleshiated Quartz. We're using a new army book, which is really, really cool. The Moorburg Knights are pretty tasty. I think they were unit of the match, so obviously they can deep strike in with the Gore Warden, the guy with the wings and the keys, and they with the Hornblower they get +1 to charge, so like 8 charge of deep strike. You've got another character that can put them back into deep strike and then bring them down another turn.
Nice.
And then there's another character that can put a D6 move before they charge. And to make matters worse, the unit they charge into can't unleash hell.
Oof.
So, as the cool kids call the meta, has got a lot of shooting in it. I can see lots of units of these guys cropping up.
Also, I think they're one of the best units in the book, like visually.
Oh yeah. Oh, and when they charge in, you roll a D6 per model, and on a 4+ you do D3 mortal wounds.
Of course you do.
Yeah, and they're fairly reasonable points wise as well. So I think the competitive list will be like 3 units of 6 of them.
All of the Bat Knights.
They're cool though. They're cool. So yeah, that was really, really fun. Stacey brought along her Sylvaneth with her light up endless spell.
This is very cool. Very, very, very cool.
Yeah, and we're playing against the event team guys. It was a really good day of games. So it's a shame you couldn't make it, Jay.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that one. But we're at Warhammer World shortly, so...
In 5 days, if I've got that right. Yeah, we have a birthday antics of a big heresy game, so we'll...
Sanguinius gets to fight Horus Ascended.
Yeah, that'll go well.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that's fun stuff. How about you, Andy? Have you been up to much?
I've just been getting ready for the old world. Obviously, we've been having all
What
the
is this old
almanacs.
world you guys keep talking about?
It's the best game ever.
You've been putting together your Empire forces, is that right?
Yes, yeah, I've been building so many state troops that, I'm tired of state troops at the minute.
Do you have any of the Demigryph Knights?
No.
I love those models.
I bought all the models back in like summer thing sort of time, just before they took all the models out of production.
Right.
We were arranging it was just state troops because we knew all the smaller models were getting put on 25mm square bases, but obviously because we didn't know cavalry and all the other sort of bases, I didn't bother buying any of them yet.
What are you thinking for Empire? Because obviously, I think what we know about the old world is it's set a few hundred years, isn't it, prior to the old world remember?
There's a bit of a civil war going on in the Empire.
Yeah, so which sort of region of the Empire are you?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
I've been building them, but I've been very careful not to paint any of them.
Not commit yet.
Because I must admit, I'm quite tempted myself next year to put together a tiny little empire, because I'm thinking between us, if we each declare for a state of the empire, we can have a lot of
that. Funny you should say that, Jay, because I've got a lot of... Obviously I've got a big Cities of the Sigma army, but a lot of stuff's just been replaced by the new model. So I've got about 40 handgunners, load of artillery, load of steam tanks. So I might pledge for Norm.
For Norm, yeah. I like the green and yellow ones. I think they're Talib, I can't remember now. Right. There was one as well that had a Mad Emperor or Mad Elector Count, wasn't
it?
I might do them.
He had a special character, didn't he?
Was he like pink and yellow? I don't know.
Well, that's a Taylor Gamers for next year then.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be cool. A little Civil War.
That'd be cool.
See which one of us becomes the Emperor.
Yeah.
That's cool. I could get on board with that actually. I know I'm a bit behind on the old world hype. I have bought Dwarf Lord though that I still haven't built. I want to build.
Well done, Dave. That's good progress. He bought that 10 years ago.
That was my input, and I've been very tempted to do vampire counts, but I really want to do Soul
the
Blight
vampires. So wasn't that was a state of the empire, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Mausoleum, was it? That was
Sylvania.
Sylvania, yeah.
But I'd want to do them on round basis. I'd have to get some.
No, it's a square basis. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, but I want to do Soul Blight for AOS.
Do both.
AOS, they're stopping AOS. When the old world comes out, AOS there's going to be like an end time. So
I think that might be in your head a little bit there, Jay.
So Jay, that just leaves you. What have you been working on?
So I aside from the Striking Scorpions we talked about earlier on, I've also been prepping for the old world. So I think on the last podcast I mentioned I was putting together an old high elf army using all the old 5th edition metal models. So I've got Lothern, Sea Guards, Swordmasters, White Lions. and I'm still cracking on with that. So I really want to get into the beginning of next year with a painted High Elf army, so that we can start using them next year.
Can I ask, have you got the best High Elf kit in that list?
I don't have a dragon.
Why would you not?
To
have
be
that
fair,
Elf
I've been
dragon?
on eBay looking for Imric. Do you remember Imric?
The best dragon. He was on a snake.
Oh, the proper dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such with the big star lance.
Oh,
and the
you know
horn.
what? I've got some dark elves I want to do. I might get the old Malekith. That's on a nice twisty dragon.
Yeah, that dragon is just something else.
You're totally talking about the wrong dragon.
You mean the Dark Elf one? That one was nice.
No, the Dark Elf one's rubbish. Don't like that one. Don't like that one.
The
Jumping off the rock dragon.
Jumping off the rock. No.
Yeah, he's my favourite.
We've talked about this. Yeah, so that's me.
Amazing.
High elves. I dug out all my dwarfs a few months ago. These are all my old metal dwarfs as well, but I'm missing like the new warriors and thunderers and stuff, so I need to fill a few gaps in the dwarf army really. But the high elves, I've managed to build up quite a nice collection over the last few months.
Nice.
And then I'm hoping we see the Dragon Prince plastic models come back. Lothern Sky Cutters are they?
So this is the weird limbo period where the books aren't out yet, so it's kind of like guessing what to pick up and what to base them on, isn't it?
That's it. And I mean, you go on eBay and they are quite crazy pounds.
Crazy pounds.
Yeah, so
but I've been looking at Bretonians and they want like £300 for a box of not even Grail Knights, just Knights of the Realm. Like, well, give it like
just
a
rookie
month,
Knights.
and you can probably buy a box of them for like £30 from Games Workshop. So I hope the bottom falls out of the secondary market when it re-releases.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's exciting. I was chatting to Steve Wren and he'd picked up the new transparent Lord of the Rings models.
Mm-hmm.
So that the box with the King and 2 Heralds and 2 boxes of Army of the Dead, it's enough models to do like 1,000 points.
Yeah. That's the army I was tempted to do because it's so easy.
Well, yeah, just paint the bases, you're done.
Put them on the base, boom.
So I've got some of them on the way too.
Sweet.
So it's been a busy year. If you listened to the podcast a couple of weeks ago, there's a whole load of stuff that came out, and I think we just have a little walk down memory lane of what we worked on, what projects we did, what we particularly enjoyed painting, and a little chat around our favourite models that we've done too. So I don't know who's going to jump to them first with their stuff they've enjoyed doing.
I can't remember chronologically, but one model I really enjoyed painting this year was Commander Farsight.
Farsight, yes. So that came out alongside Snickrot, which I really enjoyed painting too, because I used quite a different colour scheme for him that I'm now going to have to recreate on all my orcs. I went more kind of almost like cell shaded on him, didn't I?
It was like a comic book,
using the 2 thin coats, using the new greens because they're quite vivid. So I thought, okay, we'll go like extreme highlights.
Yeah.
Didn't Farsight almost fall to Khorne, if I remember right?
Yeah, well, this was the not Arcs of... Oh wait, what was it called?
Arcs of Omen.
Arcs of Omen, yeah. That was it, and he does almost fall to Khorne, yeah. It's a really, really cool sort of story in that book.
Is this from the aftermath of the kind of Khorne disease that Angron sets off?
They're trying to find... There's the Alpha Legion in there, I remember, and there's another Chaos Lord who's being used, I think, by it, but they still haven't found the Lion. Still hasn't appeared at this point, and there's all little clues like there's something on. And but yeah, he does. He goes, it's nuts, and he sort of managed to club out. But it was a cool story, that one. But the actual Farsight model itself, I think, it's a really, really good upgrade for Farsight. Very, very cool silhouette, and you got like the cherry blossom on the base. And things. So I painted
very Japanese.
Yeah. So I painted mine up in the Viola colour scheme, which is like the white armour. Because I think that was the set world where Commander Farsight's from, and it matches the rest of my army. But I really, really enjoyed painting that model. So such a nice model to put together. It's very, very big battle suit. But that was one of the highlights, I think. And I think that one actually was the first model that was on for myself on the community website.
Yeah,
which was really, really cool as well to see that. Cause
you not had one on there before?
No, that was it. That was my first one. So it's good to see it on like sort of almost like immortalised on
So while we're on the Arcs of Omen thing, obviously the Lion was one that I enjoyed painting up. You'd started kind of doing a an army. I don't know if you maybe weren't feeling that.
No, well,
I
was lucky enough to paint Azrael. An absolutely amazing kit, but for some reason I didn't get on with the Dark Angels colour scheme. I don't know what it was. It just didn't click for me.
It's one of those things. There's a model you're excited for, but you just don't enjoy the process of painting it. You're not going to enjoy painting.
No, this is it. Bearing in mind as well that we kind of had an idea maybe that the Lion was coming, and I really wanted to get the Lion, but I'm just not enjoying painting Azrael. I was like, I don't want to force myself into a faction that I don't enjoy painting just because I want the model. I think probably I will go back to Dark Angels maybe at some point. I don't know.
Why don't you do it just as like a one-off showpiece model rather than trying to do an army?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's interesting because obviously you said you're enjoying painting the Raven Guard who are wearing the black armour.
Yeah.
And you could do a fallen Dark Angels or pre-Dark.
Well, if you look at the armour on him, it's actually a very, very, very dark green. I started with black.
Very, very, very dark.
It's not quite black, but it's probably similar to how you do your Raven Guard, so working up really green highlights over black, really.
Didn't you enter him into Golden Demon?
That may come up later on our achievement. But yeah, I did. I really enjoyed painting him. Other ones, probably strewn across the room that you can see. Horus Ascended was at the very start of the year. This took ages to paint. It's in so many sub-assemblies. But I'm really happy with how it turned out.
I don't like that you've got Imperial Fists on the base. I really like this.
Imperial Fist, and there's also a Blood Angel there as well.
This is just not on. I don't understand.
It's almost as if that's intentional. But yeah, that was a really good model to paint. Other fun ones, Cryptborn, another model that was on the Warcom article, and that was fantastic model to build and paint. Highly recommend picking him up. There's been so much good stuff this year. All the Leviathan stuff was fun to do. We did the review for that.
Oh yeah, all the new Space Marine range, the Tyranid range. There's been loads of Space Marines this year. I'm thinking about, it was like Dante, you mentioned Azrael, and then we've had all the new Space Marine kits. But those launch sets, the edition launch sets, are always fantastic for new Space Marine models.
Yeah.
I think maybe my favourite Space Marine model of the year has probably been the Stern Guard or the Terminators. I think they're my two favourite kits.
Terminators, yeah.
And then for army range I've enjoyed painting. A latecomer that surprised me, but the Fleshy Courts, I fell in love with painting them. There's a few models coming out next year, just the characters they haven't released, and I will pick up another box of Knights.
That new Mortarch is amazing.
Usharan, he is cool.
He's very cool.
So how about you, Dave? What have you enjoyed painting? I see a tank on the table.
Yeah, I think the range of models that jumped out at me this year was an army that I've been meaning to collect for years, and that was the Imperial Guard. I don't even want to try and pronounce the Astra Militarum.
You're nearly there, Dave.
Nearly there. I really enjoyed that range release. In particular, the Rogal Dawn, which I really enjoyed painting. It's so good to have a guard army now. It feels fantastic. It was a shame we only had the Codex, what seemed like a really short amount of time.
Yeah.
Before it went in the bin. Well, obviously mine's not in the bin, but
it had the curse of being the last release for the
yeah. But it was a great book, and I think it set us up nicely for 10th edition.
Nice use of transfers, Dave.
Well, that might come up later on in the podcast, but yeah, really enjoyed painting that. And we were talking about Space Marines. One of my favourite Space Marine releases of the year was the new Jump Pack Captain.
Yeah.
He was kind of the model that really got me fired up for the Raven Guard.
You know what, I think you've done a really good job of this model. You've always been a bit cautious on transfers, and again this might be something that comes up later in the show, and highlighting as well, Dave.
Yeah, that might also be coming on there in the show, Matt.
Previously tentatively gave them a tickle rather than a highlight, but I think you've done a really good job on that. Yeah. And I can't wait to I'm not seeing your scouts yet.
Yeah, they're Raven Guard, of course.
Have you enjoyed painting them?
I've really enjoyed painting them. I'm so excited to get them to an army ready, to have some games against you guys. And also what I'm tempted to do, and I've seen this happen quite a bit online, some in a few Raven Guard groups, is people, obviously the Lion's an exception because he's Dark Angels, but there are people even painting up like Raven Guard equivalents of Marnus Calgar because he's quite good in the new book. Yeah. Because there is no such thing really, is there?
That's a really good point. You could easily convert up some of those like Heresy era characters as well.
Well, I'm very tempted to do a Gulliman, but in Raven Guard colours, because I think they're black and silver and white would look really nice on him, and just use them in a few maybe fluffy games.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something maybe for the future. But I've really enjoyed those. I'm trying to think of what else I painted this year. I've done less ranges this year. I think I've done a lot of kind of.
I remember
the Necrons were cool.
Yeah, the model I liked that you had painted, Dave, was the Fire Slayer.
Yes, he was.
And that's one of the best models you've done.
I thought that model was incredible.
You know what? I forgot about him. I should have brought him with me. I really enjoyed painting him.
Yeah.
To the point where I nearly immediately went out and bought Fire Slayer Battle Tome.
I think that you the play style had worked for you, the models had worked for you, and I'm really surprised you've not done an army.
I think that's going to be something I'm going to crack into next year, and I'm hoping the Fire Slayers might get a bit of love in the new edition.
Well, let's face it, we've got next summer. It's going to be the next edition of Sigma, isn't it?
It's looking likely.
If it's anything like 40k, we'll probably all have new army lists in the summer, so that's a good time to maybe jump into a new project.
Yeah. I think that's maybe when I'll do fights, because I've really got my heart set on Vampires next for Age of Sigmar. That'll probably come afterwards. I think.
So you could maybe, and then again we'll talk about this later in the show. But what about Undead for Old World and then Fire Slayers for AOS? That's a cheap, quick, decent looking army, and I think you'd have more fun playing skeletons on square bases.
Raising them up.
I don't know. I think it's going to take more convincing, because there are some Age of Sigmar vampires which we won't see in the Old World. I think.
Though that'd look very good in the Old World.
Maybe.
I mean, Fire Slayers will probably get the Iron Jaws treatment at some point and get a few more kits.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah, it's looking that way. Maybe. I can see your points. I'll think about it. Maybe by the time this comes out, maybe I've already put some vampires on square bases. We'll have to see. But they're definitely what I'm fired up to paint next, as well as my Space Marines.
Amazing. How about you, Andy? You've dabbled in a few different systems this year, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've been trying a bit more skirmish games. I think it's probably the best way. So I've been trying out some Marvel Crisis Protocol, which I've got a little kingpin.
Pass him round. He looks really cool.
I painted him, I think it was back in February.
Oh, he's very cool.
But that was the Kingpin. Yeah, that was the first attempt at painting white with the new Soulblight.
It's a nice paint, isn't it?
Wash.
They've got a nice scale to the models, haven't they? Like, I think you'd enjoy painting them, Dave.
Yeah, well, I've got some Marvel Crisis Protocol just waiting to be assembled.
They're kind of like Primarch sized, really, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the average size is about the same size as a Primaris Space Marine, so a decent size. But I've got a load of Shatterpoint stuff, sort of waiting to get painted as well. And then I've been playing a lot of Kill Team and Warcry, So yeah, just playing a lot of the skirmishy games. Fortunately this year I haven't really had the chance to go to a lot of events, so I've not really been putting a lot of time into Age Sigma or 40k. But
you've not played much of either of the systems, have you?
No, I don't think I've played a single game of the current General's Handbook for Age Sigma. Yeah.
To be fair, I only played my first games the Warhammer events kind of meet up a couple of weekends ago. So yeah, it's been a weird old second half of the year, hasn't it? It's been quite busy, but it's a shame because the new General's Handbook, I like the primal dice and stuff.
Yeah,
it's kind of my bag, but
gambling always.
Yeah, I like magic and blowing myself
I guess
up.
I'm on the other extreme. I've played a lot of the new General's Handbook because my other half Stacey's got into Age of Sigmar and she's been playing with a Sylvaneth, and there's some really good, going off on a tangent here, but there's some really good scenarios in there. There's one where there's 6 objectives, but once you've scored one objective twice, you can't score it for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So you're really quite clever over like trading objectives and stuff.
Yeah.
And the primal dice thing's cool. So essentially, each battle round you roll the dice on the floor, plus you get a bonus magic dice that you can choose to roll alongside your normal cast. But if you roll a double one, you explode, causing horrific damage to everybody near you as well. I just think of your Seer Council.
My Seer Council, poor Eldred Ulfrin and his Seer Council.
What's cool as well is you don't have to make the decision when you roll. You can roll and then go, I didn't cast it, or maybe I cast it but not on a very high number. You can then choose to roll.
So if you see you've rolled a 1, don't roll the magic just in case.
Well,
Dave wouldn't. He'd just be like, there'd be a 1 in 6 chance I'll roll another 1 here.
I like those odds.
So yeah, it's been really good. So I guess on a similar thing, is there anything that we've kind of been proud of hobby achievement wise? I mean, earlier we talked about entering Golden Demon. I didn't win a pin or anything, but I just wanted to enter something into the event, and I guess in hindsight, obviously it's one I painted for the website, so we get, 3 weeks, 4 weeks if we're lucky on a model. I think we added a little bit longer for the lion, and I was able to, put a lot of time into it. I think if I did another Golden Demon entry next year, I'd buy something specifically for it.
Yeah.
I spend a long time doing old me, Fulgrim would be built and painted, but I want to do a decent job on him, so he's still in progress.
So is that next year's Golden Demon entry then, Fulgrim?
Maybe, yeah. To be honest, I think I'd probably do a unit of Grey Knights or something.
Well, I was going to say, from what we've seen of the Bretonnian range at the previews the last few months, you've got that Bretonnian standard bearer who looked like a very, very nice sort of centerpiece model.
Because I think I've nailed a lot of techniques, and I think I've managed to get there with airbrushing and highlighting and using a few different techniques that I wasn't super comfortable with. I think the next thing to do really is freehand, so heraldry and stuff and a banner. So that's my goal. So really proud of that. From an events point of view, taking home a silver Horus Heresy doubles was a massive achievement. Really enjoyed that.
we got silver and most sporting team.
Yeah. So I was really happy with that.
That was the Blood Angels and the White Scars, if I remember.
Blood Angels and White Scars. That was a really fun event as well, wasn't it?
It was good.
Really good games. I'd not brought a competitiveness by any stretch. I was just like, what looks cool? I know, all the jet bikes.
It definitely did look cool.
And we learned some lessons over the course of the event that flying point blank into things and melting them was maybe not the best tactic. But it looked cool, didn't it? And you know what? Sometimes the ballsy just pedal to the metal thing threw people off then, and they made rash decisions.
They did with the White Scars.
Skill players would then prioritise what they needed to kill, and we made a few silly mistakes.
Well, I remember
charging a dreadnought.
Yeah, charging a dreadnought with the golden Keshig was a bit foolish. That we sort of never recovered from that one. But I remember the last game we played against. It
was against Jim Gallagher and Ben, I forget his surname, from the Specialist Games team. So we literally played the guys who make the rules for the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, and they had their Imperial Fists and Iron Hands, I want to say. Quite a lot of tanks. And that game came down to the last swing in the last round of combat in the last turn in the game.
That's one of my... I think that's probably my favourite game of Heresy ever. That prolonged combat that had been going on since turn 1.
Yeah, over that centre objective. And of course, whoever claimed that objective, depending on which turn you claimed it, you got more points. And neither of us had been able to claim it until the last turn.
At the end of the game, was it just Raldron standing on a pile of corpses?
It was. Raldron took Fafnir around his head. And I remember actually, because he rolled a 1 to wound, but he has shred, which allowed me to re-roll it. And then he rolled it and got a 5+, so then it was instant death then. And... slew Fafnir
from one extreme to another.
Yeah, it was. Took the point, and of course, then because we got in the last turn of the game, we got so many victory points and took the lead.
Yeah. I guess it goes into you, Jay. I guess that's one of your hobby achievements then this year.
Yeah, so it was another Horus Heresy event. It was only a 1+2.
I think you managed to top that and completed Horus Heresy, didn't you?
To completely change the... So I'd been for the doubles event, I'd got 1,500 points of Blood Angels ready. And then we had tickets to a singles event, Throne of Skulls. I think it was the first Horus Heresy Throne of Skulls in September. So my plan was to add another 1,500 points of Blood Angels to take up to 3,000 points and add Sanguinius as well. So I've been working really hard all year on that Blood Angels army. And to be honest, it's probably one of the army projects I'm most proud of, because I found, I started with the Imperial Fist, trying different techniques, then went on to the Custodians, tried a few more different techniques, and I've sort of refined it, and where I've got to with the Blood Angel. Really happy with the sort of
superb army.
Yeah, the scheme I've got on the Blood Angel. So I was really proud of that army. It was the first time I'd used Sanguinius, and I've always wanted to. He's my favourite primer. I love the Blood Angels. I've never had a Blood Angels army. And yeah, I that event, I just couldn't believe it, because I got the gold trophy for the Throne of Skulls. I got the most sporting player. I got the painting nomination.
And I think you got clean sweep on painting votes as well, didn't you?
Yeah, so I got 5 best army and 5 favourite opponent.
That's incredible.
And I mean, even talking about it now, I walk into a room, because I've got the things like yourself, you've got your trophy, and I just look at it, it's an incredible experience. I remember I was like sat down and I got back up again and sat down. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I had a grin on my face for days afterwards.
well deserved, especially those kind of events. It shows that you had a list that worked mechanically, but people enjoyed it and they loved the army too, and that's what Throne of Skulls is all about. If you get all three of them, that's like a well-deserved win, isn't it?
Yeah. Was that one of those Inner Circle awards? Because they give awards for.
Yeah, no, I didn't get any in the circle. But you're right. There is for certain. I mean, I couldn't have done much better. So the only thing I've done, I think I won 3 out of my 5 games.
Maybe I think it's is it 5 wins?
Maybe
5
wins,
5 favourite. Yeah. But either way, it was ruddy good day, Jay.
Yeah, so I mean that's great, and I'm looking forward to taking the Blood Angels back next year to some more Horus Heresy events. We've got 2 already in the calendar, and growing that list a little bit. But yeah, so I mean that's probably my proudest moment this year was that.
I mean, you mentioned being on the community page as well. You've had a couple on there now, haven't you?
No, well, maybe I can't remember. I think Farsight.
Definitely Farsight.
I don't think Dante was on there. I don't think so.
That's a cool achievement though.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it is.
How about you, Andy? Is there anything you've been proud of this year? I know you've had a busy year with lots of other stuff going on as well.
I can't really think of anything I've done. I mean, I've painted more models this year than I did last year.
That's always good.
So that's a step in the right direction, I suppose.
You've also written one of the highest read articles in Sprues this year as well, which might be a question on the quiz later.
Which question on the quiz?
That's pretty good.
I would assume that was the 40k core rules, but
who knows?
Oh, maybe.
How about you then, Dave? I think you've had a good year hobby-wise, haven't you?
I think you spoiled it earlier, didn't you? No, I'm joking. The 2 things. Well, the main thing I wanted to conquer this year, and I think it'd been on. If you don't listen to the podcast, every year we do hobby resolutions. And
every year Dave fails them.
Every year I fail them, and I'm hoping that this last time I said transfers.
I really hope you picked all these.
I really hope. So. Transfers has been one of those things that I've always been scared of, and it's one of those things that I thought if I could apply transfers, it'd really finish my models off. This year, I think it's safe to say I've smashed transfers.
Yeah, transfers.
From the first transfer, I was like, "What have I been scared of?"
Even on the Raven Guard, there's transfers.
I even went as far as getting some hazard stripe transfers, cutting them down and applying them to a chainsword for my inquisitorial henchman. So I am so happy that I've managed, because it just finishes them all, especially on like the Cadians and stuff and on the tanks, because it just gives them so much more character. So that for me is the biggest hobby achievement. It really makes me want to paint a knight.
Yeah.
Because they really come to life in heraldry. Yeah. So hopefully next year, I've wanted to pick up Canis Rex for ages.
Oh yeah.
So maybe I'll finally get him and I'll get some transfers on him. So that's been my main achievement. The other one that's kind of snuck in, which I never set myself up to do more of this year, was highlighting, which is why I brought along the Space Marine Captain jump pack today, because he was one of the first models where I've tried to do more emphasis on, to put some more time into highlighting, and I'm really happy. My scouts, following advice from you guys, there are a lot more sort of chunkier highlights, and it really works.
I think in the past you've been scared of doing a chunky highlight, doing the model where really the size of the model. I mean, for the heavy metal team do chunky highlights and then like a razor sharp highlight. Yeah,
I think my scouts are definitely they're work in progress. It's still not how I want my highlights to be, but I've tried to be a little bit braver, and I hope that kind of comes across in the photos that are on the website.
It's just practice. You look back at some of the model. I mean, my highlighting's not perfect. I think it's a thing you always have to keep trying at and trying to improve. But I look back at models I painted 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and the highlights are nowhere near as neat as the highlights I do today. Yeah. So you improve, the more you do it, the better you get at highlighting, because you just learn to feel how much paint you need on your brush and how much pressure you need to apply. And of course, with the things with highlights as well is, I mean, you go back and touch up with the base colour and you make it smaller that way.
Yeah. So you need to repair any.
You've done a great job on it. There's definitely a massive improvement in, exponentially improvement.
Well, I think this year you've got massively more confident with your painting.
Yeah, I think so. And I've been using a lot of contrast, which I still use a lot of, but I'm using a lot more of the Citadel, and especially the two thin coats paints. I love those paints. They are so good that I think they've helped me push my paint out. And on top of that as well, I've always done a little bit of dry brushing, but I think this year I've really refined that, especially for like the tanks. And maybe some of my other small models and bases. I think next year basing is going to be one of the big things for me.
Basing, I think. But it's an old thing, but faces and bases are what you look at first. And
well, it's funny because obviously I work a lot with contrast. When I was doing the scouts, I'd gone with a black undercoat, so suddenly I've got to have to paint faces. I can't just slap gum and flesh on it. So that was a bit of a challenge, which I hope again has come across in the images, that because you might look and think, well, there's not actually that many colours on that, but I actually spent more time than I've ever done on faces, so it's one of those. But I'm really proud mainly of transfers this year, but I'll see what I can do next year.
Amazing. Well, gents, are you ready for a quiz?
I don't know.
I think Andy's on for a hat trick here potentially.
Cool as a cucumber.
So, let's see how we get on the big fat Sprues and Brews quiz. So are we ready for the big fat Sprues and Brews quiz?
I think so.
We've got 6 rounds, and I'm hoping to get high scores from all of you here as expert hobbyists.
Hope is the first step on the path to disappointment.
It is.
I'm gonna write my name on the top of my foot.
Spell it right. Extra points.
So round 1, I'm going to list 10 paint names, and I need you to tell me if they are real paints or fake paints that I have made up just before the show. Now, people listening along or watching along, feel free to play along. We'll be going through the answers of these later and see if you can beat the guys. You probably will, because historically they're not great at this. So, round 1, real or fake paints. Question 1, Eldari Emerald. Is that a real paint or one that I've made up? Eldari Emerald. Okay. So question 2, Cadian Camo. Cadian Camo. Is that a real paint?
It's going well so far.
And you just put question marks.
Yep.
Number 3 is Mortarian Green. Mortarian Green. Is that a real paint or a fake paint?
Mortarian. He does wear green armour, doesn't he?
This is where you just should really stop using 2-thin coats and go back to city.
I was going to do 2-thin coats, but I thought it'd be too easy because we've all used them more recently. So question 4, Full Grim Pink. Staying on the prime arcs. Full Grim Pink. Question number 5, Ziegfeld Burgundy. Ziegfeld Burgundy. Is that a real paint or one they made up? All of these sound like they could be real ones, but
you can get a job just naming paints. That'd be a good job.
I remember this from was it the Kill Team event we went to?
The Kill Team event, yeah.
Ah, damn.
And I've done the same. I picked the ones that could be or might not be. So number 6 is Necrodermis Alloy. Necrodermis Alloy.
Now if that is a fake one, that's pretty good. You've come up with that's a nice one.
It's a pretty good paint.
I've never heard of it, but it sounds like it could be real. I guess that's the beauty of this question, isn't it?
It's almost as if I've done this in order to make them all sound like Citadel paints. So number 7, Talaxis Brown. Talaxis Brown.
What's a Talaxis?
Talaxis is the name of the ship that crashed in Gur.
Oh, is that what that was called?
The Eye of Talaxis, I think it's called.
I think it could either be true or false.
The Eye of Sotek was the name of the ship, but it's known as Talaxis after the explorer that discovered it.
Right.
I'm not doing well.
Number 8, Croak Green. Croak Green.
Ooh, it's the first one I've paused on.
Oh, are you feeling confident, Dave?
I think I've done okay here. Bold statement there.
It is. So Croak Green for 8. Number 9 is Valdor Gold. I mean, Valdor is gold. Valdor Gold. And number 10, the final one, Bretonian Flesh.
Oh dear. I feel...
Bretonian Flesh. You're not feeling confident, Andy?
No.
Okay.
Bretonian Flesh. That's got to be fake, hasn't it? Because there's not been a Bretonian for ages.
I think it could either be real or fake.
They are the options.
I'm concerned here because I've got so many fakes. I'm thinking,
I've got more fakes than real, actually.
Okay.
Really? Okay. Well,
I've got 2 real ones.
You've got 2. Wow. Okay. This may not be a high scoring round. So, pens down, everyone. Pens down. Well, I say pens down. You can mark it anyway. So the first one, Eldari Emerald. What's the consensus?
Fake.
Real.
Fake.
Eldari Emerald is a real paint. It's a contrast paint.
Oh, no.
Boom.
Dave. Off the
Right, I'm done. One. See you later.
Okay. So Cadian Camo.
Fake.
Real.
It is a fake paint.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just made it up.
I was looking at the tan there.
It is, yeah. Mortarian Green.
Fake.
Fake.
It is a real Citadel Air paint.
Oh, you don't use. You're the one with the airbrush.
I thought Mortarian Grime? That's a
Yeah.
Fulgrim Pink.
Real.
True, yeah.
Fulgrim is real, yeah. Zigvald Burgundy.
Fake.
That is also real.
Damn,
I knew there was a burgundy,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it was.
I've only got
I got
one
confused
burgundy.
by the. Isn't there a burgundy?
Baronar Burgundy as well.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Necrodermis Alloy.
Real.
Fake.
I went fake.
That is fake, but it's a great name of a paint. There's Necron Alloy.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
I think you would have got a point for that, and if this was a real quiz, they probably would
They
have.
probably don't know because the Screws Move quiz. Talaxis Brown.
Fake.
Fake.
Real.
That is a fake paint.
Yeah.
I thought because you named the ship, he had all the backstory. That probably was the clue to think that's how he's researched
Exactly,
it.
yeah, it probably was.
Interesting.
Croak Green.
True.
Fake.
Real.
It's a real paint, it's a new contrast paint, I believe.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
No, it's Sotek green, not Croak green.
And then finally, Valdor Gold.
Fake.
Real.
That's a real air gold.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've done alright here, I think.
And then finally, Plutonium Flash.
Fake.
It's of course fake. So how we get? What are the scores from the doors? How are we doing?
1 out of
After
10
round
is not
one?
bad.
6 out of 10.
Oh,
So Dave has got 6. How many you got, Jay?
6.
1.
1.
Yeah.
And Andy.
Number 4.
I'm on 6 out of 10.
6. Wow, Jay, you've got some catching up to do.
It's like a bonus I get for being to try and get me back in.
You might get some points back here. So the next round is The Price is Right. Insert theme tune here.
Well, it was nice drawing with Andy for now.
You know what? That's pretty good. I was pretty sneaky with some of those as well. So I think 6 is pretty good. Jay, I don't know where to start. Which one did you get right?
Number 4.
Number 4.
You know, if you organise your paints better,
Yeah.
it might be alright.
So dear viewer, Jay's paint storage solution is just a bucket of paints.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when I was a kid and I had loads of Lego, I stored all my Lego in a bucket as well. It's just a thing I do.
Well, you might be able to redeem yourself.
But not for next year. Next year I'm storing them alphabetically.
You're going to spend the night before reading all the paints on the virtual website. So the next round is The Price is Right. So younger viewers may not have heard of this game show, but essentially I will give the name of a unit. It could be from a current game system. It could be from an old game system. I want to know how many points it is. The person who's closest to it gets the points. If you're bang on, you'll get 2 points. Otherwise, the closest one will get 1 point.
Okay.
If you're 1 point over, you get 0 points for it. How confident are we feeling on points values?
Not very.
Not very.
Pretty
considering
high.
The only game I played this year is Horus Heresy, so unless they're all Horus Heresy points.
There might be a Horus Heresy one. You never know. Okay, so, first question. A Drakari Raider. To the closest point, how many points is a Drakari Raider? The concentration on Andy's face.
I kind of know this one.
Okay. So, question 2. A unit of 6 Hernkin Pioneers.
They're the bikes, aren't they?
They're the bikes, yeah. A unit of 6 of them. Doesn't matter what they're armed with. They're all the same points now, but there are 6 of them in the unit. Hernkin Pioneers. Jays, you've been writing some squat lists recently, haven't you?
Yeah, it doesn't. I
There
still
might
don't
be
know.
too many points, but I've never had an interest in the old
Okay.
leagues.
We all got an answer down for that one?
Yeah.
Yep, number 3. A Dankhold Troggoth. A singular Dankhold Troggoth.
Are the Dankhold ones?
They're the ones that are holding out the worm, the kind of big purple ones.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm feeling confident in this.
You feeling confident with that one?
Feeling confident.
Oh,
Although I feel like the points for that changed very
so
recently.
this is all the points as of now. So
Yeah.
you may have the old points and be completely wrong. So yeah, Dankhold Troggoth. Okay. We got something out of that one?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's too low. I'm going higher.
Don't forget you get a 0 if you go over it. The closest below it wins.
Okay.
Okay. Number 4. Ionis Cryptborn on his dragon. I'm not going to be mean and be like him. I'm not going to be mean and be like him from the original Age of Sigmar starter set when the first General Handbook came out. No. Ionis Cryptborn on his dragon. How many points is it?
This chap here.
That chap there,
No,
yeah.
I'm going back to my original choice.
I'm turning round to see if that gives you any indication of how many points he is.
Has he got a price?
He's a priest. He's a priest on a dragon.
I'm pretty confident on that.
Pretty confident, okay.
Okay.
Andy, you're looking more strained on that one.
Yeah, that one's a bit harder. But
What's fine, you might feel better on question 5. A Land Raider Redeemer.
that's all the flamers, isn't it?
Yeah. A Land Raider Redeemer. It might even be Legends, this one, but it has got a points value on the 40k app.
Help me out, chat.
A Land Raider Redeemer.
Do you know, I use the apps a lot and I don't tend to look at what the points is, I just see what I can fit in.
Yeah.
Just tick into it stuff.
So yeah, I had no idea what a Land Raider cost myself, so interesting. Okay, we all got something down?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, question 6. Jay, it's a Horus Heresy question. A unit of 2 Typhons with spons and las cannons.
I don't have a Typhon. He knows I doesn't have a Typhon.
Those are the tanks, yeah?
Typhon.
The big siege, it's a Lord of War.
Oh, the big siege ones.
For 2 of them.
2 of them with spons and las cannons. Because you can take 2 of them as a single Lord of War choice, which is what I'm doing for my tank siege company.
Got big.
You gone big?
For 2 of them.
2 of them, yeah. The question is, have you gone big enough?
Oh, have you seen my answer and you question it?
Or am I maybe just second guess yourself?
I'm sticking with
I
that
love
one.
playing my games with Dave.
The mind games begin.
Okay, so yeah, 2 Typhons with spons and las cannons as a singular Lord of War choice. Okay. Question 7 is a The Old World question.
Oh.
How much does a singular Grail Knight cost? Everyone grabs their papers close to the chest for that one.
Oh, I've got no idea.
You've got no idea. I think we even mentioned
Absolutely
it
no
before
idea.
filming.
I'll give
Did we?
I'll give you a hint.
4 points.
Okay, so yeah, a singular Grail Knight. Question 8. Warhammer 40,000, a Warlord Titan.
It's probably not as many points as you think it's going to be. It's probably more points in Horus Heresy than it is in...
It is more points in Horus Heresy than it is in 40k.
And a Reeve is around 2,000 points in Horus Heresy, I think.
It's showing you working out here, Jay.
Yeah, I'm going to go for...
Hold on, a Warlord's bigger than a Reaver, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
And a Reaver's 2,000.
In Horus Heresy.
Vastly on.
Reaver's the big one, the Warhammer's the little doggy.
We're talking Warlord, aren't we?
Warlord Titan.
Oh, never
The
mind.
big boy. And he has extra 0 on the end of his points.
Oh, well, based on what James just said, that's going up.
Okay. Question 9. It's a Legion Imperialis question. I want to know the points value of a Solar Auxilia Tactical Command Detachment. This is a unit rather than a big formation or anything. A Solar Auxilia Tactical Command Detachment. How many points does one cost? Okay. And finally, question 10. Warhammer Fantasy 5th Edition.
5th edition?
Lord Mazdamundi.
Oh my god.
In 5th edition? 5th edition?
Was that one on the sticker?
5th edition?
So Lord Mazdamundi, for those who don't know, was a named character which was a Slan Mage Priest riding on the back of a Stegodon.
No idea.
He was a cool character.
I think the book might technically be 4th edition.
Oh, wow.
It was out at the same time as the starter box that was Bretonnians versus Lizards.
Nice and current.
Nice and current, yeah.
I think I've got 1 point in this round.
You did 1 point. Okay.
You should have had 10 sets of points actually, so you've missed some answers there.
If you all got answers written down,
Let's go
okay,
for it.
so a Drakari Raider, Andy.
I went for 85.
85, Jay.
55.
Dave.
120.
So it is 90 points. Andy gets the point.
Booyah.
Question 2. 6 Harlequin Pioneers.
I went for 160.
Okay.
Just to.
135.
Okay.
120.
It's 180. Andy gets the point again. You get a full score here, aren't you? Number 3 is a Dank Hold Troggoth.
I had no idea.
I've
100 points.
I've put 180. I think it's like 200.
Okay, Jay.
I'm way out there. I thought this was the small. I put 45.
45 points.
Yeah.
Dave.
100.
It is 190. The point goes to Andy again. There's still more to play for, guys. You might get this back.
I don't feel round 3 is my round, you know.
Iona's Cryptborn, Andy.
I went for 300 points.
300 points. Jay.
210.
Dave.
400.
It is 400 points. You get 2 points, Dave.
Yes!
God, he's expensive, isn't he?
He is, yeah. Okay, a Land Raider Redeemer, Andy.
I went for 220 points.
220. Jay.
200.
200.
160.
It is 260. Point goes to Andy. Oh. Okay, so 2 Typhons with sponson las cannons.
I went for 600.
600.
800.
800.
I went for 650.
Oh, it is 855.
Oh.
Jay finally gets a point. Yeah, they're big boys.
Spartans are 400 with a flare shield, and I was thinking this is going to be
Basically
around
Spartan with a big siege cannon on the front of it. The Old World, a singular Grail Knight.
I believe it's 38 points.
38 points.
20 points.
It is 38 points. Both Jay and Andy get 2 points. Woot woot. Okay, a 40k Warlord Titan.
What did you put, Dave?
I put 2,000.
Okay, Jay.
700.
Okay.
2,500.
Point goes to Jay. It's 3,500 points.
Ooh.
I believe they're 5,000 in Heresy. Okay, so Legion Imperialis, Solar Auxilia, Tactical
I have
Command
no
Detachment.
idea.
I have no idea.
So, before you give your answer, this is a single base of a dude with a flag.
Oh, well, I'm way over.
20 points.
20 points, Jay.
I put 230.
230.
I put 70.
It is 10 points. Nobody gets a point.
Oh.
Shit, Dave, you were the closest, but you went over. Yeah, it is just a piddly little command base.
I nearly went for 10. I thought, no, that might be a squad cards.
And finally, question 10. Lord Mazdamundi.
I went for 680 points.
Oh, wow, I'm way off.
I seem to recall in one of the Lism book he was 1,000 points. I put 1,000 points.
1,000 points, Dave.
200.
I think Andy gets the point. It was 900 points. You were very close to going over, Jay. So I think on that, I think Andy wins the round. What's the scores on the doors, though?
2.
2.
4 points for me in round 2.
Andy.
It's 7 points for
7
Gryffindor.
points.
Oh,
Okay, so the score so far at nearly the midpoint of the quiz is Jay on 5, Dave on 8, and Andy on 13.
13, yeah.
Oh, God.
Cool. So on to round 3, and this is Guess Who. So you know in all kind of army books and codexes, there's a little block of flavour text next to a character portrait. You know, explain who they are. I've
the bits that
captured.
nobody ever reads.
Someone reads them because I put together these things. So I've captured some of these from a number of different systems, and you need to tell me who this is about. Some of them are current, some of them are really, really old.
Can we ask traditional Guess Who questions like, is he got glasses?
No. So question 1. He says but 3 words in Old Bretonnian. None shall pass. There is no choice but to fight or die.
You guys and your old world questions.
It's not
They're
Gandalf.
all-
Sounds like
They're all named characters. He says but 3 words in Old Bretonnian. You shall not pass. Oh, none shall pass. There is no choice but to fight or die.
Oh, well, the only one I
I
know.
like this one. I'm confident about
If
this.
you're confident, okay. Question 2.
The only one I can think of.
Question 2. Raised upon a nightmare world of fell secrets and necromantic horror, where humans were hunted like animals, The darkness that surrounded him seeped into his soul and would never leave him. Raised upon a nightmare world of fell secrets and necromantic horror, where humans were hunted like animals, the darkness that surrounded him seeped into his soul and would never leave him.
Ooh.
Do you want to know the system?
Yeah.
Horus Heresy.
No! I could have got this one. It's okay. It's alright, it's okay. I've got it anyway, I think.
I don't. No, it can't be him.
I forgot his name.
If in doubt, just put Horus. Raised upon a nightmare world of fell secrets and necromantic horror, where humans were hunted like animals, the darkness that surrounded him seeped into his soul and would never leave him. It's a hard one.
Don't give him any more clues, because I know it.
Okay.
I want to put that, but I know it's wrong.
Okay. That's Dave's flaw with the quiz.
I can't think of anybody else that in any. No, it can't be him. I'm crossed it out.
Well,
I'll come back to that.
Question 3. Amidst the roar of his blitz missiles and the crunch of bone beneath his cyborg foot claws, bloody havoc ensures, I should say. Amidst the roar of his blitz missiles and the crunch of bone beneath his cyborg foot claws, bloody havoc ensures.
Don't know if I spell it
obviously
right.
a 40k one.
Blitz missiles? Who's got missiles and claws? Cyborg claws?
Cyborg foot claws.
Oh, what's his name?
Bloody havoc ensues.
I can't think what his name is.
Got at least one right now.
Dave's admitting he knows one of them.
Yeah, guys.
Amidst the roar of his blitz missiles, the
I know who he is,
bone
but
beneath
I
his
don't know what
cyborg
his name
foot
is.
I've got no clue.
Okay.
I best put the bit first. You're gonna give me. You're gonna mark me down.
I need the full name, Dave.
There you go.
The full name. Okay. I'm just gonna come back to you if you don't know. Question 4. A winged nightmare, wreathed in darkness and redolent with terrible power, he strikes forth to subjugate the mortal realms and bring them under his tyrannical rule. A winged nightmare, wreathed in darkness and redolent with terrible power, he strikes forth to subjugate the mortal realms and bring them under his tyrannical rule. The best thing on this one, it could be either of them, couldn't it?
Either what?
The winged nightmares that you might be thinking of. A winged nightmare wreathed in darkness
I'm only thinking
and
of
redolent with terrible
winged
power.
nightmare.
Yeah.
He strikes forth to subjugate the mortal realms and bring them under his tyrannical rule. Probably not Signar. Okay.
Alariel.
And finally, question 5.
Oh! What's his name?
That is literally the question, Dave. What is his name?
Got it.
Okay. Question 5. A tireless exposer of psychic misdeeds and genetic deviance. He is equipped for just about anything, but then he has to be. He's an inquisitor.
Oh no. Say that again.
A tireless exposer of psychic misdeeds and genetic deviance. He is equipped for just about anything, but then he has to be. He's an inquisitor. And this is word for word from the book, which may give you a clue to its age. A tireless exposer of psychic misdeeds and genetic deviance. He's equipped for just about anything, but then he has to be. He's an inquisitor.
It must be him, but I can't spell his name.
He has to be. A tireless exposer of psychic misdeeds and genetic deviance. He is equipped
It
for
can't
just
be
about
him.
anything, but then he has to be. He's an inquisitor. Okay, Andy, looking pained.
Okay.
This is the hardest question. Okay. Does anyone want any of the questions reading back?
No, thank you. Just upsets me.
Right, everyone ready for the answers?
Oh, is that it? 5 questions?
5 questions, yeah.
Hold on, let me just come on for 30 seconds on that last guy.
The last one was a tireless exposer of psychic misdeeds and genetic deviance. He is equipped for just about anything, but then he has to be. He's an inquisitor.
No. Didn't help the third time round.
Cyborg feet was amidst the roar of his blitz missiles and the crunch of bone beneath his cyborg foot claws, bloody havoc ensues.
I can't remember what his name was.
Okay, so I think Dave's confident on that one.
On that one, that's the only one I'm confident.
So question 1, who said in Old Bretonian, none shall pass?
The Green Knight.
The Green Knight, it was indeed the Green Knight.
That's all I want to do.
Question 2, raised in a nightmare world of fell secrets and necromantic horror where humans were hunted like animals, the darkness that surrounded him seeped into his soul and would never leave him.
Sanguinius. No, Mortarion.
Dave?
I've put Logar.
I put Russ.
It is Mortarion.
I wrote Russ actually. I thought it was in my
Yeah, but still wrong.
I know it's still wrong, but I'm just saying.
Well, that's very good, Jay. That was a hard one. That was a hard one.
I know the heresy.
Amidst the roar of blitz missiles and the crunch of bone beneath his cyborg foot claws, bloody havoc ensues.
I want to hear these two first.
Captain Stormboy. With
Captain
a K.
Storm. That's close.
Oh, I put Illuminor Zares.
Dave, I think you've got this one.
It's Boss Zagstruck.
It is Boss Zagstruck. That
With
was
his
a very
cool
good guess. You knew
army
who it
hat.
was.
He had the Camissa hat.
Yeah.
I know exactly who he
I'm
is.
going to give you a half a point because I know who you meant.
No! You said I had to write his full name. You didn't write any of his name.
I wrote Stormboy Captain with a K.
It's not even a captain, he's a boss.
Should be a captain.
He shouldn't get any points for that.
I'm even half.
You can't. No, you can't.
It's Christmas.
Captain Stormboy.
It says no, Stormboy Captain.
With K.
Stormboy
Okay.
Captain. He's not even close.
Is it a Stormboy?
He's a boss. He's a.
When you're on a ship, right? Who's the boss of a ship?
Alright, if that's the level we're going for this question, that's fine. Wait till the next question where I can write a silly answer. Half a point for that.
So, a winged nightmare breathed in darkness and redolent with terrible power, he strikes forth to subjugate the mortal realms and bring them under his tyrannical rule.
I've written Bellicor.
Have you spelled Bellicor?
Bell.
Yeah.
Don't you even think about marking me down for the way I've spelled Bellicor.
I put Bellicor as well.
Yeah, I put
Bellicor is correct, yeah. I'm not going to mark you down for this B-E apostrophe. Yeah, Bellicor. And finally, this is the hardest. If anyone's got this, I'm probably going to give him 2 points.
If I've got the right guy, but because I can't spell his name,
Okay.
don't give me the point.
So, a tireless exposure of psychic misdeeds and genetic deviance, he's equipped for just about anything, but then he has to be. He's an Inquisitor.
So I've put Inquisitor Kaz something, the guy on the throne of judgment.
Okay, any other guesses?
Karamazov or something.
Something like that. He's got a
Yeah.
Russian, very Russian name.
I put Inquisitor Chairlegs guy.
So, this predates that. It was, of course, Inquisitor Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau, the first named Inquisitor in Warhammer 40,000.
Yeah, I was never going to get
Do I get a point for that?
You do not know.
So you didn't have a chair?
You didn't have a chair.
Didn't have a chair.
He had a hat.
We were on the same
Yes.
wavelength though.
Yeah.
He had a hat.
What was he called?
I had Inquisitor Kotias, the little one.
Kotias.
Oh, with the hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cotes was good. Yeah,
Okay, so how many points did we get in that round then?
that was my best round. 3.5 points.
3.5 points. Dave, what did you get? I think you did well there.
I got 3 points.
So you got 3 points.
He shouldn't have got half a
Andy.
I only got 2.
Ooh.
Ah, so
Listeners and viewers,
I
let
won
me
round
know.
3.
Let me know in the comments if you feel Jay should have got that half point for Stormboy Captain.
No, yeah,
With a K.
with a K. I put it with a K.
Did you at least write boys with a Z?
Stormboy.
Okay.
No, because it wasn't a plural, was it? He's one.
Didn't
round.
even write Storm.
He's not multiples though, is he? He's one Stormboy.
He's also not a captain.
Well, it makes no difference because at the end of round 3, in final place is Jay with 8.5 points. Second place Dave with 11 points, and first place Andy with 15 points. Unfortunately, the gap is closing a little bit due to the performance there, but I'm sure you get it back. Now, this next round, I'm going to list 5 box sets that have been released this year. I want to know how many miniatures are in this box, and that is what Games Workshop deems to be a miniature as well. So, terrain they don't always list as a miniature.
No.
But a base of models they don't necessarily list as a miniature either. So, how many miniatures are in the box? So, number 1, I'll start with the easy one. Gallo 4. How many miniatures are in the Gallo 4 box? Oh, there's lots of concentrating going on here.
Yeah.
Miniatures. What Games Workshop would call a miniature?
I think you get the same amount of both.
It's the Felgor Ravagers that have thrown me. I think I've got the number right, but...
Yeah, I think I've got it right.
Okay, number 2. The Cities of Sigmar army set.
Oh, that's an easy one.
The Cities of Sigmar army set.
Oh, that's...
Oh,
I like that one. Cheeky, yeah, I like that one.
Dave's really serious about this quiz now. I love it. Okay. Question 3. Hunter and Hunted.
No, that's wrong.
Question 3.
Hunter and Hunted. What was that one?
Hunter and Hunted is the ogres versus the Empire, like, scouty guys.
Oh, I don't know.
The ogre gorgers. Hunter and Hunted.
No, you got the...
Okay.
Those damn dogs.
Damn dogs, yeah. Okay. Question 4. Leviathan.
Right, give me a minute.
Everyone's got their fingers out for this question. For the audio listeners, we're putting some like soothing music here while the guys are counting everything that was in the Leviathan box.
Oh, I'm getting a guess for it. It's for Tyranids, I can't remember all the Tyranids.
No, it was more than that, because then you had... Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we need more time on that one, or are we good?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Finally, Legions Imperialis.
I remembered this one as well, but it's gone out of my memory now.
As what Games Workshop define as a miniature? We discussed this very bullet point when we were filming
Not
it.
sure. This is just have we done that? Have we?
We literally discussed what they defined as a miniature and how that might differ than what's in the box.
Don't know. I'm just gonna stick with the answer.
Most of mine are guesses, apart from the last two, which are calculated guesses.
Okay.
If one's a complete guess.
Anyone need any other questions again? Or
No, I'm good.
Okay, so question 1, Gallo 4. How many models come in the box?
I think you got 10 of each.
Okay.
10 Halfkin, 10 Felgors.
Right, you guys.
I put 22, I think you get 12 Felgors.
Jay?
I put 23.
It was 20, pointing us to Dave. You got 10 of each.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I had to count 2 because I was like, I thought it was 12.
I thought you had 11 of the Herfkin, actually.
Yeah.
Because it's the standard sprue with an upgrade frame.
Yeah.
The Cities of Sigmar army set.
I believe it's 28 because you get the attendant dude.
You do get an
Wow,
attendant, dude.
wow.
I'm way off then, yeah. I thought it was 17.
I thought it was 19.
So it's 28. You got 2 units of 10 dudes.
Two
2 units of 10.
I thought
One unit.
I did only add one. I had one of the characters
I
in the
had
knights.
10 of the guys on foot with 5 knights.
Yeah.
And a sort of the characters.
Yeah. But I got it right. Yeah, it's 2 units of them. 28. Hunter and Hunted. This is a hard one.
14.
I put 16.
16 is the correct answer. There's an extra dog. There's an extra dog, so it's 11 in the unit, and then the 5
There's no beating Andy today.
No.
Well, you never know. Leviathan. What have we got for Leviathan?
46.
I think there's 46 termagants in the box, Dave.
68 I put.
I put 63.
And no one gets 82.
Oh.
82, you get a lot of termagants
What
in
did
that
you
box.
46.
Yeah, got a
I
point.
must have
What did you
forgot.
put? 62.
63.
You didn't get a point, you got it wrong.
That was the
80.
highest underneath it.
No, for this one you need the right answer.
You need the right answer.
You need the
Oh, right.
He's cheating again. He's getting half points for the
I get half a point for
Just
that,
give
right?
himself a point.
And finally, Legions Imperialis. I've just eyeballed what you put here, Dave.
Yeah.
This is the box with like hundreds of teeny tiny little models in it.
Add a 0.
You put 30. That's cheating. Dave put 30. He put 30 models came in the Legions
I
Imperialis
just put
box.
another 0 on it because I forgot to write it. 300.
Okay, it's wrong. Andy.
I went for individual bases. I put 82.
Okay, Jay.
220.
Ooh, I'm going to give you the point. It's 223. So we had a discussion. You get about, I think you get about 30 odd bases, but they refer to each teeny tiny model.
See, I was playing the game where I thought you had to get as high as you could under it, which is why I put 220.
That's why you listen to the rules of the game.
but 220 is a really good guess. So I'm going to give you the.
It wasn't a guess. It wasn't. It was like a camp. Yeah, it was a guess, but it was a very. It was a. I thought that was the one of the. What was the question for?
Question 4 was 82 in level.
Oh, I didn't think because I was thinking there's about 20 space marines, and then
That's my fifth answer.
I thought it was double that for the Nids, but
yeah, Nids get I think 20 termagants plus the 10 little runty things. They get a lot in there.
I couldn't remember how many termagants you got.
Yeah. So what scores do we get, Dave?
I got 1.
1, Jay.
1.
Oh, Andy.
I got 2.
Hey. So 17, 9.5, and 12. So there's still 5 points. You could still get this back. We've got some good scoring rounds coming up in the next half of the quiz. So going into the penultimate round, it's general knowledge. So everyone's got a good chance of getting this here. And I hope you get some of these right. But you've been doing all your research.
I hope I get some of them right as well, Matt.
You should do. I've got faith, Dave.
I hope I get some almost right and you give me half a point.
Yeah, that's also a thing. Because you're still not going to come second even if I do that today. Okay, so question 1. Who is executive producer for the Games Workshop live action project? Who is executive producer for the Games Workshop live action project? There might have been an article on Warcom today with this very information in it. Okay.
Today, as in a week ago, because it's Christmas Eve.
Obviously, yeah. There might have one today. I haven't checked Warcom today.
There's a spoiler for when we recorded this.
Yeah. it's Christmas Eve, Dave, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, this year, there are 2 Games Workshop advent calendars. But what do they contain?
Huh?
This year there's 2 Games Workshop advent calendars, physical advent calendars that you can buy. But what do they contain? They both contain the same thing. There's an Age of Sigmar one and a 40k one.
Is there?
Yep. You can buy them in Warhammer World right now.
I've no idea.
Dave's look of horror.
I don't even know. I missed that.
Do you feel you've been cheated out of a advent calendar, Dave? Yeah, there's an Age of Sigmar and a 40k advent calendar. The third party, not made by Games Workshop, but they are Games Workshop related, and you can buy them from Warhammer World. What do they contain?
I'm just going to have to guess.
Christmas surprises.
Could technically be a right answer, wouldn't it? Yeah, so 2 advent calendars, what do they contain? Okay. Question 3, and listen carefully. What is the most expensive single item available to buy on the Games Workshop web store? So not any bundle deals. You buy one thing from the store. What is the single most expensive thing on the GW website?
They've included Forge World now, haven't they?
They have. And it's a single thing. The most expensive single item available to buy on the GW website.
I think I've gone for a bit of a... I think you're... yeah. Yeah.
The most expensive single item you can buy.
It's obviously a £2,000 digital voucher.
It could be. It could be. Who knows? Okay. Question 4. How old is Warhammer this year?
That's easy.
How old is Warhammer this year?
I bet it doesn't look a day over 25.
Okay, question 5. What was the name of the first edition of 40k?
Huh.
What was the name of the first edition of 40k?
Warhammer 40k 1.0.
Question 6. 2 weeks ago, I went on the Games Workshop website and typed in Lieutenant. How many different products with Lieutenant in the title showed up? If you can give me the breakdown of which are like Primaris, which are whatever, I will give you a bonus point. Available to buy right now on the GW website.
Oh my god.
As of 2 weeks ago. It's very unlikely that anything's been discontinued between when I looked and today, Christmas Eve.
I think there's...
But yeah, how many lieutenants are available to buy right now on the GW web store? I will give the point to the closest answer on this one. And if you can tell me the breakdown of what is what, you'll get a bonus point, but that's really hard. Okay. And it's right now. There might be some that are no longer available. There might be some that are included in other products. This is just in the title of the item.
Sugar, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
So just in the title of the item. So obviously, if there's one in the Leviathan box, that would be included because I don't think you can buy it by itself. You might be able to, I don't know. But the Leviathan box wouldn't be in that number of items because it doesn't have lieutenant in the title. I'm using both the American and the UK pronunciation to include it all accessible.
Okay.
Okay. Question 7. What did all Games Workshop staff recently receive? This is a topical one.
Do we get a bonus point for guessing?
The correct, yeah. If you've got the specific details, I'll give you a bonus point.
Sweet.
Okay. Andy's confident in this one. It's been in actual newspapers recently, this one. Okay. And finally, can you name the 4 Games Workshop video games released this year?
Ooh.
Oh no.
I'm not including mobile stuff. This is all Xbox, PlayStation and PC. 4 video games were released this year.
I got 3.
2.
Hold on, I got 5.
3.
You got 5 this year.
Yeah.
2023.
No. Alright, I'm going to go with these 4, but I thought there was a 5th one as well. But I'll put these
What's the
4
4th
because
one?
the 5th one might have been last year. But I think it was this year.
Not including mobile games.
Not including mobile games.
Oh.
Oh no.
So no mobile games. Xbox, PlayStation, PC. There's 4 video games that were released this calendar year.
Okay.
Not expansions, not mobile games, not
Okay.
spin-offs.
I think I got them then, but I think there was
Okay.
one more, but maybe not. Maybe that was last year.
Maybe that was that.
I've only got 2.
Because the other 4, I'm pretty confident with the shit.
I can't think what the other 2 are.
Oh, Dave.
I don't think that was this year, but just so I've got an answer.
I believe one of them is out this week.
Shush, Matt! I've just told you I could get a point for this question. Andy does not need any more clues.
Oh.
It's a board game. That's the hint.
Okay. So we all got answers down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Almost.
So almost. Well, I have to do a countdown clock here, Andy. As you are the winner. No, pencils down.
Yeah.
Okay, so question 1: who was the executive producer for the Games Workshop live action project? Easy one to start with.
Superman.
James Workshop.
Henry Cavill, yeah.
Yes. That was
Okay.
a guess.
Nice easy one. So, advent calendars. Dave, you look absolutely outraged that you don't know that.
Didn't know they existed. Pure guess. Pin badges.
What's everyone else thinking?
I put artwork.
I put paints.
It is pin badges.
Oh, Dave, you legend!
This is the Age of Sigma one and the 40k one.
I figured. I mean, I don't even know what the thing looks like. Well, I imagine it's like
It's got 24 doors on it.
That's it. So, for what can you fit behind a door? Depends on the size of the door, I suppose. Anyway, I came to pin badges because they were quite small.
They're still available in Warhammer World if you want to buy one. Though it's Christmas Eve today, so
I
there
will-
might be much.
I'll have a look at it just so I can. I've seen it.
Yeah. What is the most expensive single item to buy on the GW web store? Dave, what did you put for this one?
So, I think you were very careful in that you were saying parts, and I can't remember how many parts of all the Titan comes into. It's not that. I put Smaug.
You're wrong. Jay, what have you put?
I put the Manta.
Andy?
Oh,
The
damn.
Manta.
I put a Thunderhawk gunship.
It is the Manta. The Manta itself costs more than the body of a Warlord Titan. Smaug is like a third of the cost of a Manta. Bad luck. How old is Warhammer this year?
I believe it's 40.
Yeah, it is 40.
Yeah.
So it is as old as I am. Another easy one was the name of the first edition of 40k.
Rogue Trader.
Yeah.
Trader, yeah.
Sweet.
So the lieutenant question: how many lieutenants are on the GW web store?
I think there's 7 Primaris lieutenants,
Oh.
And I've just taken a guess and said there's 6 other lieutenants.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I said 30.
Okay.
And I put 24 Space Marine lieutenants across the various chapters, and 6 lieutenants across other ranges, like Astro
Andy?
So I put 7 Primaris, 2 Firstborn for 9.
9, what did you say, Dave?
7 Primaris, 6 others.
Okay. So the point goes to Andy. It is 7 in total. There's 5 Primaris, 1 Space Marine, and then Gothmog for Middle Earth.
Oh.
Yeah, less than I thought.
Of course, it's a command squad for the Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more than 5, unless you discontinued some, because you had a Dark Angel Lieutenant, a Blood Angels Lieutenant.
They're the only 2 chapter-specific ones.
Then you've got the Reaver Lieutenant, you've got the Multi-Part Lieutenant.
Yeah.
And you've got the Primaris Lieutenant. Plus a generic.
There's multiple Primaris lieutenants though.
There were. They're not all available anymore though.
Ah, right, okay.
But yeah, I thought there'd be a lot more than that. Okay, so what did all Games Workshop staff recently receive? Again, bonus play if you got the specifics right.
£2,500 bonus.
£2,500 bonus. And finally, question 4: what 4 Games Workshop video games were released this year? Andy, what have you got?
I only got 3. I got Realms of Ruin, Dark Tide, Rogue Trader, which I think is coming out next week.
It's even an answer to a question earlier on. I really want it as well.
I only got 3.
Dave?
So I couldn't think of its full title, but there's an orc game called Shooters, Teeth and Something. It's come out on the Switch. Dark Tide, Total Warhammer 3, which I know came out last year, but I couldn't think of another one, and Realm of Ruin.
Okay, Jay?
So this is interesting, Dave, because I had Rogue Trader, Dark Tide, Realms of Ruin, and Bolt Gun.
Okay.
But then that Orc one was the 5th one I was thinking of, and I'm thinking that must have been the year before.
Was it?
No.
So the correct answer for, and I double checked this on every site I could do, the releases this year are Bolt Gun, Rogue Trader, Blood Bowl 3, and Realms of Ruin. Dark Tide was last year. I think the shooter game was last year.
Yeah, must have
so do we get a point for Realm of Ruin?
Yeah, you get a point for Realm of Ruin. I think Jay got a couple. You got Bolt Gun,
Realms of Ruin, Rogue Trader.
Yeah.
I get half a point extra as well, right? I got 4 answers.
You're not getting any more half point answers.
So yeah, I thought there was more, but yeah, there was only 4 released. So how do we do on that round?
I scored 6.
Oh, well, good comeback, Dave.
So with the bonus point from the guessing the specific on the bonus, I'm on 8.
Ooh.
We got a bonus point for that?
For the 2,500.
And how many points do we get for the last question?
Oh, in that case.
One for each answer.
I got 7. How many? Just 1 bonus for the...
If you get again the specific answer, you get a bonus. Yeah.
Okay.
If you just said a bonus, you got 1 point. If you get the money.
So, I got 7 then, Matt.
And how do you get, Jay?
9.
9. Oh, wow. Okay. So, going into the final round, we've got Dave on 19. We've got Jay on 18 and a half. And Andy on 25. I mean, I think, boys, you're playing for second place here.
If he beats me by half a point, I quit Sprues and Brews.
Now, there are bonus points aplenty up for grabs into the final round. This is Sprues and Brews trivia.
I'm not very good.
So, question 1. What was the most popular article this year? If you can give me the title of the article, or close enough, I'll give you a point. If you give me how many views it had, I'll give you a bonus point. So most popular...
As of recording, how many views it had?
As of 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, when I recorded this, because it's Christmas Day today, what is the most popular article this year on spruesandbrews.com? If you can give me the name, and I'll give you a bonus point to the person with the closest number of views to the nearest 1,000. Because I feel this is the decider round. Okay. Question 2. What was the most popular video on our YouTube channel this year? Again, a point for the title, or close enough to, and a point to the nearest 1,000 views. Dave, I feel, should have an advantage here because he looks at the stats.
I have no idea what they are, Matt. I don't know, I'm just going to guess.
Okay. Question 3. How many podcast episodes were released this year? Now, bear in mind, we used to do 1 a week, which bar a couple of weeks over Christmas, so you're probably talking between 40 and 50 a year. normally. Obviously, we've had less this year. So, how many podcast episodes were released in 2023? Okay. And again, I'll give the point to the closest answer because I think that makes it more exciting. Okay. How many articles were on Sprues and Brews this year? How many articles were on Sprues and Brews this year? And again, I'll give it to the closest answer. Okay. And finally, in terms of visitors, what are the top 3 countries for people coming to the site? What countries did they come from? I've got a 1, 2 and 3. If they're within the top 3, I'll give you a point. If you get the positions right, I'll give you 2 points.
Oh.
So top country, second country, third country. In terms of viewers, if you've got it in the right place, I'll give you 2 points. If it's on the list, I'll give you 1.
This is an interesting one.
This is an interesting one. And one that you should be aware of, Dave.
I'm not.
So a bit of background. Dave often shares some quizzes that YouTube generates on views and stuff. So I thought Dave might have...
Is this the website?
This is the website, yeah. This is the website, yeah. So, have you answered anyone want any of the questions again?
I'm good.
Okay, I'm good. So, what was the most popular article this year?
40k core rules.
Andy core rules 40k.
Yeah. So, you'll get a point for that. Who's got the closest number of views? Andy, what have you got?
27,000.
Jay?
35,000.
Dave?
1 million.
1 billion views! It was 52,000. So the point goes to Jay.
You laugh, but I was only 50,000.
No, you weren't.
950,000. Yeah, you were a little bit over, Dave.
Do you halfway that?
A million. I wish you had 1 million views. What was the most popular video on our YouTube?
I put Imperialis, Matt.
Imperialis?
Legions Imperialis.
I put the Cerastus Knight unboxing.
Oh, right. Well, nobody got it. It was actually the Crusade review from Leviathan.
Ah, very good.
Okay.
Yeah, that was 10,000 views on that one. Imperialis was second. That's been a super
Half a point.
No. Okay, so question 3, Dave. You should know the answer to this one.
You've got this one, Dave.
So we'll go reverse order. How many podcast episodes were released this year, Andy?
21.
21. Jay?
37.
Dave?
40.
So we used to do 1 episode a week. That'd be 52 episodes. We moved to 2 episodes a month, which would be approximately 24. Though we've often had long breaks in the podcast. So the most it was going to be would be 24. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise we
started the year doing.
Yeah.
We didn't start the year doing.
No. Yeah. Well, we said we started doing 2 a month. We actually put out 18 shows this year.
Oh my god, that's bad.
That's a well drop, isn't it?
Do
Sorry, everybody.
Closest?
Yeah, Andy gets a point for getting closest.
Yeah.
Yeah, only 18 shows were released this year.
What did you say? You were over.
That's a resolution for next year, isn't it?
I did more than it. Got double that this 2024 18.
Yeah, we'll do that. We need at least two a month.
Yeah.
At least. Okay, so in other news, how many articles published on spruesandbrews.com?
I've gone for 350.
Ooh, okay.
200.
200?
I went for 189.
Andy, it was 188. I'm going to give you.
Oh my gosh! Well done, Andy. Well done.
See, that surprises me because it almost feels like that's days.
Well, I thought there's definitely
Doesn't
2
matter,
a week
I'm an
because
idiot.
you have the pre-order and what's coming next week.
Maths was never my strong point. I got days and weeks mixed up.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that was a really good guess, Andy. Obviously, you've got photographic memory of all the articles.
Yeah.
Okay, so but
Man.
there's points you can win back here though at the end, Dave. It's all good. Have you got 0 so far?
0 so far.
You can get some points back here. Okay, so top 3 countries. So third place. Well, in fact, Andy, what's your top 3?
So I put the USA at number 1,
Mm-hmm.
Japan at number 2,
Ooh.
and Germany at number 3.
Okay. Jay.
I put UK at number 1, US at number 2, Australia at number 3.
David.
I've done exactly that, although I'm not sure. Sometimes it's the US, but I put UK, US, Australia.
So number 3, I don't think anybody had, was Canada.
Oh.
Which
Okay.
is quite close to Australia on our globe.
Number 2 is UK. UK is number 2. If you had it at one point, if you had it at one point, and then number 1 was USA.
I nearly put USA than UK.
US is our number 1.
Number 1, yeah. Most views come from the US.
So I get 1 point for USA?
You get 1 point for USA, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't get any points.
No, you get 2 points.
You get 2 points. You got UK and US just in the wrong order.
You would have got a bonus. You could have got 4 points if you got them all in the right place.
Well, there's the only points I got in that round.
So that's 2 points for Dave, giving you a grand score of 21. Andy, how many points did you get that round?
4.
4, putting you on 29. And I think, unless Jay's got like 11 points this round, which I don't think is possible.
11? Would you believe it? I got 4 points.
4 points, which means that in first place we have Andy on a massive 29 points. Well deserved victory. In second place we've got Jay on 22 and a half points.
If he's beating me by half a point, I'm quitting.
And in third place we've got Dave on 21 points. Even without the half point, Jay still would have beaten you. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was terrible.
I wish I'd purposely thrown one of my answers on the last question now and dropped it by a point.
How do you know?
I know.
How do you know, Andy?
My New Year's resolution is going to be to beat Andy.
I mean,
Days.
the Sprues one's a total guess.
Yeah, but there was a couple where you got like almost nailed it. Like that last one, 189, and there was another question.
It's telepathic. It's the lack of hair. It's got something to do with that. It's got to be.
52 weekends in a year, and realistically there's 2, maybe 3 per week, so it's about 150-ish.
You probably got pre-order post.
To be fair, actually,
articles.
At least Andy gives proper answers and scores proper points.
So you can last again, Dave.
It's fine.
I think it's quite hard next time.
Dave, I just want to say, I was going to ask you if I could have a lift home tonight. Is that still alright? You'll drop me off half of the way.
Half a point.
I'll strap a rocket to your back.
Yeah.
You can be Captain Stormboy.
Captain Stormboy Captain.
With a K.
With a K.
Oh, it was amazing. Well, thanks for the team point, guys. And what we're going to do now is have a little chat about the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed the Warhammer quiz.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Coming last.
It's where I come in events, so it shouldn't come as any surprise.
I should have got a wooden spoon for you, Dave. So before we close out the show, though, I guess we're going to just chat a bit what we want to do next year for the site, for our own personal projects, and just what we want to do. I mean, for me, I'd like to get back into putting more articles up on the website. I think we've kind of missed out on that this year a little bit. There's been an awful lot of stuff out, like new content wise, hasn't there? So reviews and stuff. A lot of my time has been wrapped up doing that. I think now we're probably in a better place where we can maybe get some other stuff on there too. And Andy, you really want to do some what we call soft posts.
Yeah, like hobby articles and stuff like that. Yeah, I really want to do again like a Taylor Mini Gamers sort of thing, but do a small buy a Combat Patrol box, build it up gradually, and then at the end of the year.
And you know what? Actually, one of my things I want to do next year is a Combat Patrol event tournament. They're only a tenner a ticket. They're a weekday event. But they're really tempting, just as and it'd be nice. I've got a Sister Battle box, the Combat Patrol. That'd be a great reason just to get that one box painted.
Yeah, I think in the past sometimes with Tale of Gamers we've gone a bit too. I guess
we want to rush.
Don't we?
We'll paint a model and then we'll paint a model, and the next thing you know, especially you've got an army. You're like, hold on a minute, man, I've not even painted the unit yet. So it's very hard, isn't it? And we get, there's lots of stuff that kind of gets in the way. So I think that's what kind of prevents us from doing proper. But it would be nice next year, and I was going to say the same as Andy. I would like to do a proper narrative on the website, Tale of Gamers. I think hopefully you guys would really enjoy that
with
as
kind
well.
of with the elements of your Crusade stuff as well.
Yeah,
running alongside it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I really like we we did the one video, and then 10th edition came out, which kind of knackered your what was it, Neville Secundus?
The Assault Neville Secundus. Yeah, I've actually just in the background been playing around with some other narrative stuff, which I can't really discuss because it's more like trying different things out, using a bit of AI actually, sort of creating backgrounds and battle plans and stuff. It's mental. We can do with AI now. It's crazy. It saves me a lot of time. So like you, I maybe for me, I'd like to obviously carry on doing stuff for the website, but I want to do a lot more sort of video content.
Yeah. We'll just be chatting off battle reports, something we want to get back on again. You know, you're currently editing a video.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the reasons we reduced the podcast was to do more other content, but it's been a bit of a funny old year. We've all had sort of had different things going on and been very busy. But next year, I definitely have to do more video stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to get back on the battle reports because I think we've done some really good like narrative battle reports, and more of the like articles. I did an article a couple of years ago about like the history of the Soulblight Grave Lords Undead, which was a really fun article to like research and write, and it did really well on the website too. And I think with the old world coming on, we've talked about this in the past, do a lot of kind of like pick up an old, like, 8th edition, 5th edition, whatever book and do a retroactive review.
I'm looking forward to, because I think this year, I think there's going to be a lot of good opportunity to do like a Tale of Gamers with the old world stuff, potentially, and because also it's not a new set, it's a familiar setting, but it's a new timeline, and I think we could have some fun there. Creating stories. I mean, we just talked briefly about like an Empire Civil War. That might be something fun to do next year.
Well, I think what would be cool, and this is just me throwing out ideas while we're filming live here, have a Tale of Gamers. It goes out, I don't know, once a month, whatever we agree on, and we just talk about in that whatever we're working on. So we don't necessarily have to be tied into doing just the old world over 3 years. Because people get burnt out, people get other projects they're jumping on. So it's more so, I guess, what we talk about on the intros of the podcast, but in article or video form, where we might decide within a month, let's do some Marvel Crisis Protocol. So that month we're all painting some MCP stuff, and we have a bit of a battle report, and we tie it all into that same article.
Yeah.
But then the next month, when maybe Empire box comes out for the old world, and then we do a bit of an Empire Civil War, and that way we're not locked into doing something over 6 months. That on month 2. The track changes, and we've done it lots of times, haven't we, where a massive release comes out and you can't physically do it, or people are sick, or holidays, or whatever, and it means that we can just kind of bounce between different projects, and you can go on full hobby butterfly, Dave, without it kind of setting you back.
I think actually this year I've done less of that.
Yeah.
And I think it's teed me up quite well for next year, where there's a couple of things, like a couple of projects in my mind which I'm really like looking forward to finally doing the Word Bearers. I've been wanting to do them for months, but other things have kind of got in the way. I really want to crack on with them, get past one Marine and a Dreadnought, which is what I've currently done. Soulblight for AOS, Raven Guard for 40k, and an Old World army.
So are you thinking Soulblight definitely for AOS then?
That's how I'm feeling right now, yes. I do like your idea about doing them for the Old World, but I've really wanted to do an army of them for ages now. I just don't know if I'm like going to play the Old Worlds as much as you guys, and then I'll feel gutted then that I haven't put them on round bases. I am very interested in painting my Dwarf Lord. Looking at all like the factions that are going to be mainly represented in the new game, they're the ones that are really jumping out at me right now.
I think to bear in mind that all the PDF armies will be like legal armies.
Yeah,
they're not going to get new releases, but they'll be just as playable. So there's a lot of people online have been a bit like, it's just a PDF army, but honestly, I think they're going to be just as valid out of the gates.
Yeah. And
all those supported ones, they might not get models for a year.
We'll see. I'll do something for the Old World. I'm just not quite sure what. It took me a while with Heresy to finally settle on an army that I really wanted to do, and I would have had it done if I'd just literally done that and not touched anything else. But I'm sure something will appeal to me eventually, and then I'll jump on.
So what's like going into January then? What's on your painting desk? Like, is it worldy Word Bearers or your vampires?
I don't know. I need to look at. I've not got any events lined up, so I think it's probably going to be vampires to begin with. But I might have the Raven Guard mixed in there as well.
Okay.
Depends on releases and stuff, I think.
How about you, Andy? What's just kind of your rough outline for the year?
So let's see. Iron Warriors for Horus Heresy.
Yes.
'Cause that's long overdue.
It is.
Especially now that the Plastic Mark III release.
Yes.
Old World, as many armies as I can pump out.
Yeah.
Because I used to play Dwarfs in 8th edition, but it was the only army I ever played.
Okay.
For the 5 years that 8th edition was out, so I'm very excited to play some different armies for that. And I only played competitive games as well, so I'd like to play some more
casual
fun.
games.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you're the same here, Jay. I've got a lot of armies that I've had stuff stashed away for, waiting for the Old World. So I've got a load of Beastmen in boxes. I had a load of Orcs and Goblins in boxes, just waiting for base sizes really. Once I've got the details, I can start building them, and then I think we can have some fun narrative game. We could do a little campaign system or something. Yeah.
A little map.
Yeah.
The
Mighty Empires.
Mighty Empires. Yeah.
I want to get the World Eaters done, because when they came out last year, I was super excited about them, but never really got any traction with them. So I'd like to get the World Eaters done. I'd like to get back on my hobby resolution monthly.
You might have liked monthly.
Yeah, they were really good posts.
It's always difficult because when at the beginning of the year you set these targets and you get halfway through the year and you're like, oh dear.
Yeah, I guess it's just being able to kind of build in enough leeway to them. We've made that mistake before on the hobby resolutions, haven't we? Where you set something really, out there, and by month 6, another army or a system or something comes out and it just derails it, doesn't it?
Month 6, Matt. I think by the end of January I'd forgotten what my hobby resolutions were.
But it is hard, and you set yourself a load of hobby resolutions, didn't you, Andy?
I think I toned it down this year as well. I think I only set 18. But yeah, I'd like to start going back to events, because I think I've only done 4 events this year. And yeah, just play some more games, play some MCP.
Yeah, I'm really keen
I
to
want
play
to do some MCP.
Yeah. I'd like to do some coverage for the site on it as well. Obviously we're not an official review of that or anything, but I think sometimes that's better because it's more of a...
It's nice palette
not honest, because I wouldn't say that we'd give a biased review, but I guess we're more detached from it, I suppose.
Yeah, we're definitely kind of like newbie stepping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about this before. It'd be nice to do a kind of getting into MCP where you follow our journey as well. I've dabbled and painted the miniatures and played a few games, but I think with the new edition, I say new edition, it's the same rule set, but the new box coming out, it's a nice jumping on point where we kind of start building up our various kind of forces and exploring the game. And the same with Star Wars Shatterpoint as well. I've got some of the models for that and they look phenomenal, and I picked them up just to paint predominantly, but then when I found out you played it too, I was like, let's do some games. How about you, Jay? I know you've got a lot of Heresy and Old World on the horizon.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got a couple of events lined up for the first quarter. So we've got a 1-day in February at Warhammer World Horus Heresy, and we've got the really cool sounding narrative 2-day event in March, I want to say.
It sounds amazing. So if people don't know, it's an apocalypse event. They're going to have 4 battlefields in Warhammer World, and they'll be set in U-shapes or whatever, tables put together. And I think there's only 80 tickets. I think there's 10 people per side on each battlefield, I think.
Yeah.
And obviously each of them's got a 3,500 point army, and potentially another 3,500 of allies.
In reserves, yeah.
So you're talking, what's that, 70,000 plus points worth of models on each of these 4 battlefields that you play a single game over the course of 2 days.
Do you remember the old big Apocalypse template that was one massive circle and had
the little 4 bubbles?
Yeah. I can see those coming out.
No, frustratingly they don't sell them anymore, do they? You've got to get third party ones.
They might have some there to use.
But that appeals, and I think the aiming of, obviously it could go really badly if within the first half of day 1 you lose all your army.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing with these kind of events is if that happens, they'll just come out and say, put your army back on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing with the allies as well, that you might lose them, but you suddenly requisition a Warlord Titan to use for the rest of the event.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be really fun. I think they're going to try and build in... I'm guessing that they'll have team on each desk running the narrative, and there was talk of you can't bring any named characters because they might turn up on certain battlefields, if one area is doing particularly badly, I don't know, Horus turns up and smashes his face.
Yeah.
So it should be really, really fun to do that.
I think I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, and they said obviously you've got your 3,500 point army, those special characters, and then as many points reinforcements. But they sort of hint at try and think about a theme for your. Is it going to be a force that turns up to hold the line, or a force that turns up to breach a wall section or something like that? So it's made me think about how I want to structure my army. Obviously, I've got 3,000 points of Blood Angels, but that includes Sanguinius. So I want to add and change the sort of theme of that army, and then take all my jump troops out and put them into the reinforcements. So I'll have Assault Marines and Dawnbreakers and Jump Dreadnoughts coming down.
So even a themed allied detachment.
A themed reinforcements, just all with jump packs.
That's really cool.
And then my main force then is going to be infantry heavy. Day of Sorrows, that they're on the ground, they've been entrenched or whatever. So I've got.
I really hope we're on the same battle, because I'm going for completely out of the box, and I had a load of kits that I'd put aside originally for a World Eaters force, because they've got their own tank company, which is bizarre for World Eaters. But
they take Predators and troops, don't they?
Yeah, but I've used there's a generic Rite of War as well.
Armoured Spearhead.
Armoured Spearhead, yeah. But you take a command Sakaran, and then you can unlock Predators as troops, and the only restriction is that all infantry needs to be in a vehicle. Fine. I've taken the logic behind the army is this is an artillery, I guess a tank siege detachment that's been tasked with breaching the wall. So it's essentially a pair of Typhons. Their job is to blow a hole in the wall, and then the kind of armoured escort around that. So I've got 6 Predators, a Sakaran, a Vindicator, a pair of Land Raiders, one filled with Reavers, one filled with Justaren, and then a pair of Rhinos who are there for, if some pesky infantry with melter bombs get into my tank lines, these guys pop out the Rhinos and try and deal with them.
Yeah.
So again, it's in a normal match play event, it'd probably struggle because you just get obliterated by last cannons turn one, and it's probably going to get a lot of firepower. But I think this is a themed element of that Apocalypse game. They just trundle up the battlefield and blow the walls apart. That's what I'm hoping they can do anyway.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, so I mean, so on that sort of thing. So I'm looking to add a Mastodon to my Blood Angels, which I've always liked the Mastodon. Cool. I've always wanted one, and I think I've got nearly. Well, probably about 9,500 points of Heresy painted now since the 2nd edition. So I think I can paint one up. So I painted
cool.
red, and add a few more infantry like Terminator squads and things to my Blood Angels. So obviously that's going to be a big part of my first 3 months of next year, ready for that event at the end of March. But then also I want to get my High Elves. Try and get 2,000 points painted by March time, really. So I've got an Old World army to be using. So that's my initial plan.
Cool. So I guess other than getting the Heresy done, I want to get all the Old World painted, all of the Old World, because I'd like us to be able to, going back to the video thing, I'd like us to have, and we have for a lot of systems, have a collection of models that we can just go, I don't know, we're doing a battle report today, Jay's playing, and we've got a spreadsheet where we can go, okay, I want to use Wood Elves, for example, and we can just pick those units from a little. We've looked at this a little bit in the past, haven't we, Dave?
Yeah.
And it's obviously the time put into it. I think once it's set up, that'd be really good that we can see between us what models we've got available to pull together. Without necessarily having to just play with the stuff that you've painted. So if you fancy, maybe you've not painted your undead yet, but you fancy using mine to be able to do it. And even if it's just to gauge what units you want to get yourself for your personal army.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that'd be fun. And more content, more video stuff. I think we've done more review content this year than we ever have, but maybe at the expense of some of the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just finding the right balance.
Yeah.
Which we want to do for everybody, so yeah, stuff like this.
Yeah, and obviously let us know what kind of stuff you'd like to see as well. If there's anything in particular that you love or hate, let us know in the comments if you want to see more kind of podcasts like this. I think it'd be fun to do podcasts in person again as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, until next time, we've got loads of cool stuff coming next year, haven't we, Dave? There's
loads of cool stuff.
Really, really exciting stuff dropping next week or the week after. I don't know what day it is. Early January. Be there or be square, because there's some super exciting stuff coming. Absolutely. And then we'll have our New Year show podcast coming out in the new year. That's always a fun one to do.
Awesome. Might be all for that.
But yeah, until next time, I hope you all have an amazing Christmas and get everything that you asked for from Santa.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.